This is for the players.
I'm Ryan Betson.
I'm Josh Saunders.
And this is For the Players, the PopCulturists PlayStation podcast with over 40 years of playing PlayStation 8, plus years in that games media combined. We'd like to thank you for joining us in this PlayStation conversation.
This PlayStation conversation happens every Monday morning at 9 a.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time on YouTunes and 8 a.m. on iTunes, Spotify and other podcast services. If you'd like to be a part of future conversations, please join us on Facebook, Discord, comment below. If you're feeling generous, join us on Patreon at patreon.com/popculturists. Head over there, check out the tiers. There might be something there that interests you.
If you are a patron supporter on any level, you can join us as we record this show live. And if you want to show the support for the PopCulturists on your body, head to popculturists.com/shop where you can buy shirts like that one. Not this one. Not that one. It's a lazy day today. It's a long weekend. What can I say? We have some couple new designs up there, which are pretty nice and sweet. As always, thank you to James Perry from the Pixel Beast. What have I done? Twitch. We are also on Twitch at twitch.tv/thepopculturists. We do stream there occasionally, which is nice.
I thought I forgot my shirt, but I actually left it here.
Yeah.
I just noticed it down there.
Yeah, I was going to leave it here and we can always wash it and keep it all tidy and clean. Or
It doesn't need washing. It's worn for like an hour a week.
Yeah, but it gets pretty stank in here though.
Are you sitting on it?
Maybe.
Oh, well then yeah, wash it please.
How are you, man?
Swell.
Very swell. It's good. Good.
Swell.
Yeah. I think you've had the same kind of week that I have had, which is just,
It's just a week.
It's just a week. Like, no major events took place.
No.
Nothing of note really happened. It was just a week.
Yeah. I really can't elaborate.
Yeah, same.
It's just been a week of nothing. I know it's a thrilling start to the podcast, but it's really just nothing.
Oh, yeah. You should go to the Young and the Restless, speaking of podcasts. Do that.
Oh, yeah.
I normally promote that at the end, too. But, yeah. No, it's the same. It's like, this is how we know we're getting old. It's just, okay, did you do anything? No.
Yeah, that's good, man.
Yeah.
Did you do anything? No. Yes.
Yeah, it feels good.
Yeah. I played some Apex in my free time.
I haven't think either of us really
Played
this
some-
week.
Yeah, Apex and Fortnite when I had some spare time, and that's it.
Yeah. Are you still enjoying the Apex though? Have they rolled out any updates or any improvements yet?
Oh, they've done some bug fixes and balance changes and stuff.
Nothing too major.
No, nothing major. They put out, Respawn did like a big post. They're like, we don't want it to be the game where you've got to read the patch notes every single time you open the game up to get Fortnite. We want to extensively test our changes before we release them in a major patch instead of 100 minor patches always like doing this. I can respect that. The game's not broken anyway.
Well, yeah, because I assume they don't want similar things like Fortnite with their rocket launch that you could just infinitely climb on or whatever it was. Wasn't there a rocket launch you could jump on it and then...
Oh, you can rocket ride?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, they don't do... Yeah. Not wacky like that.
No, but I mean like that's a glitch in some capacity.
Yeah.
They've gone,
No,
alright.
there's nothing really not on consoles anyway.
Yeah.
Apparently the PC Asian servers are full of hackers.
Always.
As is the custom.
As is tradition.
As a tradition. No, I think the biggest pressing issue is hitboxes. So obviously some characters are very large, being easy to hit. Some are very small, more difficult to hit. So they're trying to figure out what to do with that. Because everyone has the same health, same armor, regardless of size. So it's easier to snipe the big guy, Gibraltar, than it is to snipe Wraith, who's the little one. So, yeah. But still, everyone's playing whatever. It's fine. It's fun. It's good.
I was going to say, is everyone playing the small peoples then? Or?
Nah. My teams are always varied. So, yeah.
Very nice.
I play one of the bigger ones.
Hey. Role
So
playing.
Yeah. Yeah. No. Fantasizing.
Yeah.
I saw you were playing Metro when I got here.
I did. So I did. The original plan was to have this week be our Metro review, which it currently won't be because I did play a little bit this morning and I am enjoying it more now. And I do feel that if we were to lay the groundwork down now as the review, I think it may be disingenuous.
Yeah.
Because it is certainly a game you need to spend the time with. The more I'm playing, the more I'm kind of going, okay, there's another layer here that I didn't see. this. So there's no need for us to rush that review now, because I was given a copy, so if they do come asking for stuff, I'll give them all the episodes of, hey, we haven't played it.
just cut every snippet.
Yeah.
Every 30 seconds.
And all the combined thoughts, which will end in a big old review, probably in like a week or two.
I'm running a business.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So Josh has gone into full blown business
management.
Business management. Oh.
I never studied that, but I'm doing it.
Yeah, you do.
Still alive.
Red hot go.
Yeah. Nah, well, the folks are away on a cruise as of yesterday.
Yeah.
So I'm doing all the stuff.
So I'll do what I can to try to kick off that game as much as I can between now and then. I have been dipping my toes a bit more into Trials Rising, even though we did lay down a lot of the details last week. The game's fucking good.
Looks
just good.
Looks good.
Like it hasn't hit that tipping point of really hard yet, so it's enjoyable at this moment in time. But I have unlocked 3 of the continents now, so as you span around the world and do more challenges. There are some challenges that are a bit more difficult. It's like, do 38 backflips. I'm like, there's like 4 points that I can do backflips in this game, in this particular level. I'm like, all right.
Yeah. But if you do like 6 and stack, does it still count them, or does it go?
No, you have to land them. Because like you said, my brain, I'm still in that moment of, you can't make any mistakes. You have to get to the end of it without making mistakes.
You got to get all the gold stars in the level.
Yeah. So that part's making it very tough. But it's that, unlike, it's not a rage quit frustration. It's very much more of a,
I can't do this.
It's like, it's kind of like, it's that frustration that pulls you forward and keep wanting to give another go. So I'm certainly not hating it. Thoroughly enjoying it, if anything.
Nice.
Other than that, I've really played nothing else. It's been a very quiet game this week.
You need them sometimes.
Yeah, I do need them sometimes. Oh, like I haven't watched. I haven't even watched much TV or anything during the week, like or movies or even much wrestling.
Ooh.
I watched the shows that I had to, obviously for Young and the Wrestlers, but like it's just kind of because I got pay-per-view on Monday, so it's kind of keeping it on the lows. However, last night, not video games related, I watched that Netflix documentary, Abducted in Plain Sight. Please watch it if you can, or even just the first 20 minutes, because it's all a true story.
I think I've heard
but
about it.
It's just a hot mess of are these people that stupid? So the debate. I'll give you the quick.
Is this the one where she gets abducted 3 times or something?
Yeah,
from the same
it's
bloke?
Twice, and then the kidnapper also had an affair with the mum and made the dad jack him off once.
Oh, this guy sounds like he's got
he's a master
charisma level 10.
Yeah, he's a master manipulator and masturbator. It's quality.
He's not a masturbator. He makes other people do it for him.
So the setup is obviously he got this infatuation with the particular daughter of this family. He lived down the road and he just sort of made his way into their fold, right? And then it was like, hey, I'm gonna take Jen horseback riding, because they're like, huh, it's the 70s. We didn't even lock our doors. Sure. And then
take our child, strange
take
man.
our child, and then when they're in the car, because they interview the kid that was abducted.
Just they get in the car and he drives left, and there's it pans to a big sign saying horse riding to the right.
Oh, wait a minute.
Wait a minute. I need to take the chicken out the oven.
There are moments of that sort of just idea of what the fuck. So the woman said, she said, we got into the car and he's like, well, best take this medication for your horse allergies. She's like, I don't have horse allergies. Took the pills anyway. Passed out. It was this was a Friday night, right? And they've come back and they had make sure you bring him back by the end of the night or whatever. We'll see you late Friday night. Oh, okay, cool. Sunday, they're like, Mum's
like washing the dishes in the sink and sees that horse riding sign pointing to the right. She's
no, but even then, and then it's went from 3 days to 5 days to 10 days to 30 days. It's 100 days, and she's like, but and then so then eventually they essentially escape to Mexico. She gets brainwashed to the shithole. The idea of she's just drugged this whole time. There's a little voice box next to her bed. He's telling her that there's aliens and you need to fuck him to help save the species and shit. Like,
Wow.
everything I'm saying doesn't sound like it should be real.
Yeah.
But it's real.
Wow.
So eventually the FBI eventually brings them back to America, and he goes to some local therapist or something, right? And
Just that.
Yeah, no, the psychologist, right? Like
Not like prison or anything.
Yeah, no, he was supposed to go to prison for like a couple of years, went for 45 days, not even.
Okay.
And then, so during this process, he goes to a psychologist who, and the psychologist, was...
Does he end up wooing the psychologist?
No.
Fucking her. Getting her to jack him off as well?
We were waiting for them to just make everyone jack him off. But no, like, this psychologist who lost his license at some point
Okay.
decided to, like...
They thought that psychiatrist was the best choice for this situation.
Yeah, he made this tape of, it was essentially just like audio porno.
Yeah.
And then this is how gullible and stupid this family is, right? He goes to them, he's like, hey, do you mind if I hang out with the girls a little bit? My therapy, part of my therapy. And they're like, you're in therapy for touching and abducting small children, so you have to hang out.
Namely, one of our daughters.
Mainly one of them. So you want to hang out with some young children, particularly one of our daughters, alone. Huh? Yeah, and that's what it is. Every time every time they show the father, it's this weird line of, I don't think he understood the severity. Like, this documentary was years after, right? And he's like, like, do you not understand what the fuck has happened, man? Yeah, and then during this, surprisingly, to no one, the kid gets fucking abducted again.
Wow.
For 8 months, right? There was a period of time, I think it was like 6 or 8 months, where he would be alone with the girls and even stayed the night 4 times a week, on average.
Wow. It probably sounds like I'm not going to watch this.
There are moments where I'm like, I'm concerned about being a bad parent, and then I watch this and I'm like, nah, I'm cool.
I'm alright.
You should watch it. It's really, like, it's baffling.
I'm alright.
It's really baffling.
I'll have to renew Netflix, though.
Oh, okay. I'll give you my email.
You can't say that on camera.
Fucking everyone else has it. But anyway, there's nothing to do with PlayStation. But it's a really interesting and baffling documentary, though.
Well, you could say his car was a PlayStation wagon. Probably something we shouldn't be joking about.
No, there was moments where it got super real. I'm like, oh, I regret laughing. And then it cuts to his mum being like, yeah, and he touched my breast and I jerked him off a little bit. I'm like... And then it instantly becomes not so like baffling, like just becomes just stupid. Like, anyway, this is the section we talked to you about the PlayStation news that happened this week, in a section we call Inform the Players.
In a surprise to absolutely no one, Death Stranding has fallen slightly behind Kojima Productions' internal planned release date. According to the man in charge, Hideo Kojima made the statement in an interview with J-Wave, translated by IGN Japan. Kojima explained, quote, "It's common for studios to fall behind their planned release date, and Death Stranding is very slightly behind our initial plan, but not behind by much." Elsewhere in the interview, Kojima explains the nature of making an open-world game means that he's constantly making adjustments and playtesting new versions. He also discussed the complicated nature of trying to explain a brand new game because, quote, it's only visible inside me, and he says the new game is high risk. In other news, Hideo Kojima is being Hideo Kojima continuously.
And also, water is wet.
Water wet.
No, like, so it's such a weird sort of announcement. It's like, well, we're running behind schedule. Like, what schedule?
Yeah. You had a plan?
Do you have a date? Can we know the date?
We're not going to see this until 2022.
Yeah. It's still a couple of years away.
That's my prediction.
Yeah, I'd say at least another 2 years.
Given the track record, but he's been given a blank check seemingly, so I just don't think it's going to be that good.
See, I think we talked about this before. Like, this is where I was like, I always thought I was a Hideo Kojima fan. I think I'm a Metal Gear fan. Like, I don't think I'm a fan of him or what he does outside of Metal Gear. Because I'm looking at this going, what the fuck is this? And I think
we've shat on people for doing the exact same thing, so we can't just give him a pass because he's Kojima.
Yeah,
I have no attachment to him. I have no attachment to Metal Gear. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
So, I just don't think it's gonna be that good.
Yeah, and like people claiming it's gonna be a PS4 game. Not a chance. Not a chance.
Not a chance.
Game's years away.
Game that's not years away.
Well, he was like, our original plan was 2025. Guess 2030 now. Sorry, man.
PS7 exclusive. Number 2, Days Gone. The upcoming action-adventure game from Sony Bend will include a roughly 30-hour campaign. 20% of it will allegedly be made up of cutscenes. Initially reported by German outlet GameReactor.dk via translation, Bend claims the game's main story will take roughly 30 hours to complete. However, Sony Bend has also reportedly stated there are about 6 hours of cinematics in the game, meaning they should constitute 20% of the overall campaign. The 6-hour estimate was later confirmed on Twitter by Sam Witwer, who portrays the game's protagonist Deacon St. John. Days Gone has also gone gold as of this morning at time of recording.
Yeah. So there was some hands-on previews about 2-3 weeks ago, if not a little bit longer. And although the embargo on that did drop this week, so a bunch of people went to start spewing out information. I'm still
I haven't
keen.
watched anything.
Yeah, like I said, I'm keen. I haven't dipped into the previews too much outside of the people that I know that have gone that I've spoke to personally. It's more of like I'm not
Which wasn't us.
Which wasn't us. Hey, I would have done it. I would have flown up in a heartbeat, man. So it was that situation of I'm like, all right, cool. You dug it. How to go compared to PAX? It's improved. Beautiful. That's all I need to know. Don't give me the specifics just yet. That's all I need to know.
General consensus seems pretty positive. More positive than I was expecting.
Like I am seeing some things being like it's nothing special. I'm like, that's fine. As in, it doesn't have to be this groundbreakingly revolutionary thing. Like, I'm happy. I'm quite content with it just being a really good game that's got things similar to other games in it. So, like, I'm very stoked on it, and knowing that it's gone gold as well, which makes me very happy. So, as of recording, we're 48 days away. It'll be 46 by the time you guys watch this.
It definitely seems
So
to have a
close.
higher focus on story than I initially thought it would.
Which
is fine.
I'm
That's
super
good.
stoked
That's
on.
cool.
Super stoked on.
Yeah. Yeah, 6 hours of cutscenes, pretty good.
Because when I did see that, when I originally heard that, I was like, ooh. But then upon reflection, I'm like, no, that's cool. Totally cool.
I think The Last of Us might balance out to be roughly that.
I would say so.
Maybe 15%-ish, but not too different. Like, percentage-wise, obviously not hour-wise, because you can get The Last of Us done in about 10 hours. But
I cannot wait until until this gets in the public, or at least the reviews are out, where people can see that this isn't The Last of Us, and it isn't, it won't be The Last of Us. And I think that separation is important.
Change of the internet's fickle mind.
That's it. Saying that, I do think this may be one of the lower scored exclusives to come out of PlayStation.
I'm presumably
I'm
guesstimate about an 85.
Yeah, which is still good. I'm like, even if it was fucking 70, I'm still pretty stoked on it. Like, I've played it. I'm keen. Cannot wait.
Number 3, PlayStation 4 Firmware Update 6.5 adds remote play and a region-specific 720p streaming option. The update now live, and if your remote play feature was shared on the official PlayStation Twitter account, the accompanying iOS app, which is available to download on iTunes. As well as displaying PS4 screen on your phone, you can use the app to control your console, use it as a keyboard to enter text, and join voice chats using your phone's microphone. I've seen this going. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, so I've downloaded the app. I haven't jumped into it yet.
You can't sync a controller to it.
That part's still balls.
Which is a bit balls.
That can also change.
You get like a touch screen.
Yeah, so if for those of you that have heard about emulators on phones for old consoles, like the buttons are on the screen, which is a little bit jarring because you always can lose your spot, and so those buttons are always present on the overlay of the screen.
It's what makes playing Game Boy games on this really hard, like Donkey Kong.
That's the point I was making with the emulation, right?
Really hard.
It's cool because like it kind of gets around the triggery thing, but without getting around it. Like on your Vita with your remote play.
But we had a Vita for this.
We did.
We don't anymore.
What?
I mean, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I guess that's that sick burn though. Like, well, the Vita's no longer in production. Use your phone, I guess.
Using a non-Xperia, I suppose. The Xperia was cool because you could plug it into your controller.
Yes.
And play like that.
Yeah,
that was a cool idea.
I think it will come. I think that controller support will come. Like, why would it not be? It would make great sense.
Just another
Perfect
dongle
sense.
to buy from Apple.
Yeah.
USB.
Well, it should just be Bluetooth. It should just be Bluetooth.
This is Apple we're talking
That's
about,
true.
right?
Very true.
Peripherals are their thing.
You say that like I don't have an Apple.
What?
You're saying that like I don't have an Apple and understand
It
how
seems
this
like
all
I have to
works.
remind you.
Like it should be easy. You have an Apple. Yeah, but it should be... Oh.
Oh, wait.
I don't know how often I would use it.
It's just a nifty
It's a
idea.
cool idea, though. Because the problem with
if you're in a
Australian
one
internet,
TV house, Mrs. wants to watch the TV, you just stream it to your phone, something simple like Stardew or what. I don't think you're going to be playing Apex or anything on it.
The responsiveness.
Yeah.
I did consider, I'm like, maybe I can play Trials on it. Well, that'd be a good tester.
You should try it and report back.
Yes, I'll give it a whirl, and you'll hear back from me next week.
A number of PlayStation 4 owners are allegedly experienced console crashes while trying to play Anthem, leading to an influx of refund requests aimed at Sony Electronic Arts. As reported by Kotaku, players are posting their experiences across Reddit, Twitter, and the official Anthem forum, detailing a problem which their PS4s completely and unexpectedly shut down while trying to play or close out of Anthem. When encountering, in a quote from someone, I've got it here actually. When encountering a crash or game error, sometimes I get booted to the main menu or out of the game completely to the dashboard, wrote Reddit user For the Master, but twice now when trying to matchmake, my PS4 has completely turned off. The thread and others like it are filled with players claiming to have encountered the same problem. The crashes, however, may prove to be more damaging to some, as multiple Reddit users allege their PS4s have been bricked following the Anthem-related crashes. And EA is aware and are looking at a fix. Sony is also apparently issuing refunds for digital versions,
which makes total sense.
Pretty unheard of as well.
It is incredibly unheard of because there is no built-in refund system within the PlayStation Network software.
No.
Like,
you have to manually go in, take your license away and give you the money back. It's
yeah,
not
so
an
you have to call
process.
customer service and make it happen. So a good friend, Max, he's been given it a red hot go. I don't know how he's been successful at getting the refund because he's been experiencing the crashes in the same capacity.
Apparently, because it's a hard crash, it's classed as like an unsafe crash, or something, which can cause it
detrimental to the console. Yeah. So if you get the blue screen and kind of like shuts down, it's still a hard crash, but it's kind of not the same. But when your console just like, see, this is a weird, like, the weird line here is I've seen on the internet. It's like, well, who do you blame? Do you blame EA or do you blame PlayStation for having an exploit like that? I'm like, it's EA. I have other games. I have tons of games that don't.
Apparently, one of the Anthem devs spoke to Jason Schreier and said that it bricked his PlayStation, and they've still launched it anyway. So
this is like, is this a bug that they were aware of? Like, what is this?
Well, I can tell you, Destiny and the Division 2 never did this. No, despite all the bugs they had on launch, they never did this.
It's very concerning.
And there's always people in the forums that are like, well, my experience has been nothing but good. I can't fault it. I've been having lots of fun, which is cool.
They're totally valid.
But that doesn't mean that other people aren't having problems.
Yeah. So this is that weird spot, right? Like, is this a vocal minority thing?
Does it affect me? No. Peace out.
Yeah. Like, is this a vocal minority thing that everyone just happened to be yelling in the void at the right time? Like, or is this happening statistically a lot higher?
Don't know. I'm sure we will find out in future. But for the moment, if you're playing on PS4, please be wary.
Just don't.
Play on your old PS4 if you happen to have two. Top selling games for week ending 3rd of March 2019. Number 10, GTA 5. Number 9, Kingdom Hearts 3. Number 8, Dirt Rally 2.0. Number 7, FIFA 19. Number 6, Metro Exodus. Number 5, Star Wars Battlefront 2. Number 4, Lego Movie 2. Number 3, Red Dead Redemption 2. Number 2, Far Cry New Dawn. And number 1, unfortunately, is Anthem.
What are you going to do?
What are you going to do? Not play it at all. Ever.
Unsurprisingly.
Yeah. There's nothing much to say about that, except Star Wars Battlefront 2 being number 5.
It was on sale.
Yeah. Quick bits. Dark Souls creator and From Software director Hidetaka Miyazaki reveals he's got his eye on the Battle Royale genre.
That would be
an interesting one, wouldn't it?
It'd be that, like, if they use the same level of difficulty that can be found in Dark Souls.
I would like them to see. Sorry, I need to interject.
Go ahead.
Instead of it being all players versus each other, I want it to be a boss gauntlet rush that everyone is individually trying to beat the boss, and whoever beats the last boss in the gauntlet is the winner, or you die and you're out of the contender. And then whoever gets past the last boss is then in the arena to fight maybe the 10 of the 100 people that actually made it that far in a free for all. So
almost like a
boss rush,
like a tree, right? And then everyone just bit by bit, the boss is taking them out.
Let's say there's 10 bosses. Everyone has to fight those 10 bosses to get to the end individually.
Oh, okay.
But you're on maybe a timer, or if you die, you're out of the running. But then anyone who does beat the 10 bosses then get put into, like, you're the best of these 100. Fucking sort it out yourself with whatever weapons you've chosen to pick up along the way.
See, because where I was going, I like that idea a lot. Actually, it's kind of a really cool idea. I was thinking the best thing about a Dark Souls presumably it's a Dark Souls-esque setup, right?
Combat
setup, because From Software have done primarily that. The big thing about like Apex and Fortnite is people don't play hesitant. They go, and they'll jump and flip, and they'll get open your shit real fast.
Oh yeah.
But if everyone can take a hit, if not two, and you're dead, everyone's like, Like, it'll make a longer experience, but also make a more nerve-wracking experience. Like, the best thing about Battle Royale, especially when you play, like, PUBG as an example, and you're, like, the last 5, hearts beating, because every movement is
potentially your last.
Yeah, so having that, and you're all standing there holding big fucking swords, and you're looking at each other just like that. That would be
Who's going to make the first move?
It'd be that true standoff moment of like, oh shit,
yeah. Or
that
even
be
expanding
intense.
on it, maybe adding some of the For Honor play style into it, stances and blocking, and I don't know, could be cool. The HP Lovecraft-inspired investigation game The Sinking City has been delayed from its original March 21 date back to June 27.
Yeah.
Well, fuck me specifically.
Yeah,
because the start of this year for me has been fucking garbage. I was excited for Anthem, nah. Excited for Division 2, nah. Excited for Sinking City, nah. Excited for Metro, can't get into it.
Yeah.
Fuck me.
See, saying that, like, we did have, actually surprisingly, we had an inside source on this one.
You did tell me.
So I gave you the heads up about a month ago.
But I don't believe it till it's official either.
Yeah. Well, like, look, we have a legitimate reliable source here.
And it's at the same time when all this coverage is coming out for it.
Yeah.
IGN have articles and videos of gameplay and all that. And it's like, why? Fuck you.
Yeah. It's not an issue with, from the sources that I have, it's not an issue with the game, is all I'm going to say.
Borderlands 2 VR adds aim controller support.
Amazing. I was surprised it didn't have this to begin with. Like, it works perfectly within Borderlands 2 as a game and with a gameplay system. Although I never jumped on Borderlands 2 VR because, like, I don't play VR as often as I should. Interesting.
It's a cool feature.
Nonetheless.
And physical copies of The Division 2 will require a 90 gig download. You're downloading the whole game.
Yeah.
The disc has nothing. The disc is for show. The disc is just like, hey, I'll start the download
It's a verification process.
Yeah. That's a bit shit.
Do you think this will become the norm?
Yes. Yes, with our 1 terabyte standard hard drives.
So you can have 10 games at best?
Well, no, because you got to leave 150 gig for the system.
You have 9 games at best?
8.
8
and
games.
a half.
Oh.
You can download the multiplayer part of it, but not the single player part of it. And you just got a couple other ones. Early review copies of Sekiro won't be sent out to press or content creators. That's fine. I have no issues with that.
Yeah. So
I think they did it similarly with Dark Souls 3.
I cannot recall.
Because the thing, no, they didn't do a worldwide launch with Dark Souls 3. But what people love about the game is being in complete blackout and doing that blind run at the first time, no spoilers, and even if you try to avoid them, you can't. You go to YouTube, it's in the thumbnail of a recommended video. That's not on you.
Yeah, I'm it's this weird spot, right? Like, I'm very happy that they're making this decision because obviously the From Software fan base are huge and rabid and they don't want the spoilers. Totally valid. So that's why content creators would be sketchy. However, in terms of press, you'd think they'd want to get a review out on day one, saying that in order to battle those content creators, IGN and whatnot have been more than happy to pump walkthroughs and videos
and
all on day one.
They don't stray away from thumbnail spoilers either.
True.
None of them.
Spot on.
Now, obviously, Bethesda do the same thing now, and they get fucking shat on. Different styles of games, From Software being the Japanese company, like, this is what we're doing, fuck you. This is how we're doing it.
Yeah.
And I can respect that.
But saying that they could also heavily embargo it to give it to press and, like, you can review, no footage, nothing.
They really like the idea of everyone getting it at the same time, and it's like everyone...
No. I'm not arguing against that. I think it's probably the best decision
that's just
to make.
The point that I'm making.
It's just that they could have also done it and just embargoed it up the butthole, if they wanted to. Doesn't change anything.
You can't release first boss info for the first 24 hours.
Yep.
Second boss 48. Yeah, but that just seems like more work.
We've had that, like, when it comes to, like, Pokemons, right? It's like, hey, you can review Pokemons
up to the first gym or something.
Yeah, you cannot talk about anything after the first gym. You cannot provide these specific Pokemons. Like, they very clear and strict guidelines.
Yeah, they can do whatever they want, and I'm on the fence of getting it.
Yeah.
Now that Sinking City's not there, maybe I will, because I need something. I've been burnt so much. I need something. And Dream's PS4 beta participants have made more than 35,000 creations.
See, that's not 35,000 individual creators. That's creations. Still pretty impressive, though. Like, they mentioned about a line of quality?
I'm just skimming.
Because I could make 1,000 really shitty things.
Not really. The most popular Dream was Prometheus, which was played 6,800 times.
Makes me wonder how small their beta test pool was.
One interesting fact is that 1,900 participants used the PS Move controllers, about 10%.
Is there a mention anywhere in that picture about numbers and how many people got involved?
No.
Days editing, hours, collectibles, playing... No. So there's no mention of specifics in terms of how many people were involved in said beta, but it seems to be at least a mildly impressive amount.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll be okay. It'll be okay.
I'll still play it.
That's it for the news, Ryan, as we have a chat to the players about EA3. EA not going to E3.
Thank you. I'm like, I don't know where
I was trying to think of something funny. Electronic Arts has confirmed EA Play will return in 2019, including when it will take place. EA Play 2019 is confirmed to happen from June 7th to June 9th, with the kickoff event on Friday, June 7th. But rather than leading with a large press conference, EA has announced it will skip the conference this year, instead replacing it with, quote, multiple live streams that will air during the first 2 days of the event. According to the EA... the intention is to offer more gameplay to viewers, as well as more insights from the teams making the games. They haven't said what's going to be available to play, and that's it. That's
so the conversation of this sort of stems around the idea that we're once again hearing of another studio or another development team, or publishing team, not going to E3.
Not doing a conference.
Not doing conference.
So they're still going to be there, but they're just doing their show floor thing.
So this sort of asked the question for us specifically was where this is not a new discussion by any stretch, but it's like, is there a place for E3 anymore in terms of its trade show with its
It's kind of a shame because E3 EA's conference is where we normally got the real cringy.
Yes, we got the most laughs from.
They'll get someone in who's some star in a sport or something and just make like really bad.
Or we're going to talk to some old ass soccer player for 25 minutes.
Yeah. So we're going to miss out on that, unfortunately. I don't know, it just seems like, everyone's just like, this actually isn't that important anymore. We have, if we need to push something new, we have content creators and Twitch streamers to do that for us, like Apex. Do you think, because this information came out after Apex was launched, and EA launched Apex in a really unorthodox way that they've never done before, and not many companies have done before, and it was 10 out of 10 successful for that particular game. So you think they're like, we don't need to do things the traditional way anymore? Are they maybe kind of coming around and seeing a different perspective?
I think it's more of a testing bed. I think it's it's that line.
They don't want to be there and get booed for Anthem.
Yeah, so the current bad PR surrounding EA would make this an easy decision for them. 2, having PlayStation be the first to step up and make that jump, everyone else can sort of be like, we're going to do that.
They're not going, we're not going.
Yeah, saying that, the second that, there's this weird grey area, is this the turn of the future? Is this where everyone, like all E3 will slowly be dying? I don't know.
I would...
Only because I say that, like, this year, no one's going.
That's not that no one's going. 2 companies aren't.
Yeah, but I mean, like, companies. So PlayStation are out, which is a mad hit. So EA will no longer be going as a presentation this year. So, PlayStation aren't going at all. So EA are going sort of. And then you've got Microsoft who's going there for, all whole hog still. We assume Square Enix will do another disappointing video. Bethesda, there's no confirmation of whether they're going, but once again, under the bad press, either they go there and need to impress, or they don't go at all. Ubisoft will likely be there again, because they're pretty consistent. And
Nintendo will do their direct.
And their conferences are getting better and better and better.
I think Nintendo will do something a bit bigger this year, seeing as that Reggie's stepped away and they've got the new guy there. I think he'll want to maybe try to make quite the positive impression.
But I think it'll just be an awesome direct. I don't think...
but he'll be featured
of course, yeah. And his name's Bowser, for Christ's sake.
Yeah. you see the picture of him with like Mario and Luigi tied up
Yeah,
in the background?
that was awesome.
Yeah. That's famous.
So, do you think E3 is dying, or is this just
saying E3 is dying is just...
I'm not being hyperbolic.
It's hyperbolic. Did you say I'm not being hyperbolic?
I said no. I know it's hyperbolic.
Oh, I thought you said I'm not being hyperbolic.
No.
I'm like, well, you are.
Yeah. No, I know it is.
No, it's not. It's just a sign of the times that it's not as relevant for what it was. It's like it's having an identity crisis. It's like, what is this show actually going to be from here? Because what it was 18 years ago is not relevant anymore. People have 1,000 different ways to find the information they want, see the games they want, and get, and so I just think they need to figure out what they actually want to fucking do with this show.
Yeah.
And step it up, because Nintendo does a direct whenever the fuck they want, which they can do, which is cool. PlayStation have PSX, presumably, but they've been doing it. They haven't missed a year, have they? Since they started doing it.
They missed last year.
Did they? No, they didn't.
Yeah, they did. Because that was the sick burn of you're not doing a PSX and you're not doing an E3.
Yeah, you're right. Anyway, but I wouldn't actually mind seeing each major company just do their own thing when they feel like they have enough to show to make it worth watching. Which is essentially what Sony is doing. They said, we don't have enough to show you at E3 this year. Presumably they do PSX because they'll be like, here's heaps of cool shit.
Here's PS5.
That you wouldn't have had 5 months ago because it wasn't ready to show 5 months ago. Like I said, Nintendo do whatever they want whenever they want. It's like, hey, we've got a new game coming out. Here's half an hour of stuff. Like a mini press conference on the game. Microsoft seem to be the only ones who are really like, we're still going to do it the traditional way.
Well, I think for
now.
I think they're just capitalizing on that empty space. So certainly not a bad thing. So for me, I think I'm very similar with you. I do believe that there is this transition period going on right now where that older style presentation is going. Although, it's a bummer for me.
It's still an enjoyable
I
watch.
loved watching
whether
E3.
what you take away from it, like whether you think it's worth the time or you think there were shitty announcements, it's always an enjoyable time.
It's the best and most fun part of the year
it's the
for
community
being a gamer.
Everyone's watching it. Everyone's having a laugh. Everyone's occasionally blown away by something.
We're all enjoying the hype. We're all enjoying the lows. Like, it's that awesome sense of community as a whole. With the change in times, though, it kind of makes sense. So the biggest thing about the conferences or the trade show aspect of it is for them to show what they're doing to their shareholders, to the gaming community as a whole, to those traditional outlets who would then go and share that information, right? Where with that change in landscape, where you all E3 also showed off to the masses, as in to the New York Times and news outlets. So there are a lot of news outlets would run stories about from E3, right? They're not important anymore, comparatively.
Yeah.
So like it makes sense for them to sort of hone that message on the people that want to see it.
But it can't also be just another convention, because there's enough of them, and they're all the same enough as they are. So I don't think it can do that either.
See that was the thing that made with the last 2 years when they shifted E3 to becoming more than just a journalistic endeavor. It's also a public event. I understand why they did that, because journalists weren't going anymore because they could just do it from the comfort of their own home, or they would be invited to studios directly. All these things. So that was declining there. So they're trying to recover from an already decline, and if anything, all they've done is rapid that decline. Sentence.
That's what you're saying.
As in by having the open to the public, it's just declined quicker.
It's instantly taken away the lustre of the show.
What made E3 different is no longer there. So the conferences were always the big selling point for E3. If that is in fact declining, less journalists or press will be going. Therefore, those conferences were always press only anyway. You had to be invited to those conferences. And
you can't just let the general ruckus into those conferences, because it'll just be too rowdy.
Yeah, it muddies the message. It changes everything what they want to do.
You'll get the booze and all that kind of stuff, which It's meant to be a pretty professional setting, the traditional conferences. I think just letting the G-pop come in, Gen Pop, it'll just ruin it, I think.
Yeah. Saying that, though, like, if they do move to this more digital delivery system with the idea of your directs or your well-cultivated things, it does lose a lot of its humanity. There is a humanity that comes with being on stage, showing it, having it crumble, having it fail, or being willing to take that risk in doing it.
Was it last year or the year before last, where like these two indie devs did a presentation and their mics were still on, and she's like, we nailed it.
So you don't get that, like, there's such a human aspect to one-on-one or one to the masses delivery, because it's not high edited.
Hearing the shaky voices, seeing them sweat a little bit.
Yeah.
But then seeing the smile at the end of it.
There's a genuine beauty to that. Yeah. And having that be lost is just kind of adding to this cold nature of the internet. Like, we're more social than we've ever have been. However, we're more lonely than we ever have been.
Oh, you'd put that on a shirt.
Yeah. and part of that comes from that,
there's
from
a
that
Reddit
cold
sub
disconnect.
There's a Reddit sub called I'm 14 and this is deep. That'd be a quote. I'd say
100%. Yeah, I wasn't trying to be profound. But like there is a coldness that comes with having everything digitally and not in front of people. So I think as they make that shift, we'll lose a big part of the community-driven previous nature of E3. It's a shame.
Yeah.
Damn shame.
Wait and see.
I have to wait and see. I don't know. I'm just trying to think more about it, and like what other I'm trying to be devil's advocate to my own thoughts here, and be like, what about this? What about that? I don't know, because it's good to have that fleshed out argument, I suppose.
But we did that.
We did. I think we did. Yeah. What do you think? Let us know your thoughts on E3, and so whether you think it'll be going, staying. Ask Graham. So I did reach out to some of our community members early this morning, like hours, not even hours before we were going to record, so we didn't get a whole lot of responses.
To be fair, I couldn't confirm if we do this today or not. So
we weren't able to confirm, so that's fine. So Simon Blackburn jumps in. He says E3 as a physical show will scale down by 2020 and switch to a completely digital event by 2022. The digital-only format could allow people to cut line waits for playing demos, etc. if they do happen to release all those demos online instead, which I don't see that. I don't see that happening. The last part,
I wouldn't mind it.
It would be brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Or giving out codes to streamers, influencers, media
to give out
to download. Like rather than having a free blown demo, if you have it on you just put on the PSN like, hey, your press, here is your code to download the demo. Play it. Let us know what you think. Whatever. Like that removes that horrible waiting in line and then playing in a confined space. Breathing. And there's fucking lights and there's music everywhere. Yeah. Which is what those floor shows are. That would be a great way to go about it. Because that way you could get it in the hands of those that can't fly internationally. Like, so say there is
us.
Yeah, like us, as an example. So say there is a new game for Dragon Ball Z, and there is a mad Dragon Ball Z streamer who has like millions of popular, he's a very popular YouTube content creator. He doesn't have, but because he's so niche, he doesn't have the luxury. He can't make it to E3. Send him that demo code to this new Dragon Ball Z game.
Dragon Ball
Z. Massive, right? Yeah. Like that is that. Like that's audience targeted marketing in the best possible way. You're putting it in the hands of the right people. The concern of that, of course, is that guy loves Dragon Ball Z. He either could be the harshest critic, or he could also be just jerk that game stick for a while.
That's just up to them to decide.
That's true. And Zach Jackson from Well Played. Speaking of Days Gone, though, if you want to go check out wellplayed.com.au, they do have a awesome little write up from Days Gone.
Very nice.
So they went hands on with it.
Lucky.
Zach jumps in and says Sony will have a dedicated event to announce for the announcement of the Porsche Challenge PS1 remake, and it'll be the first game on PS5. Jack is spot on. Sorry, Zach Jackson is spot on.
Yuck. Car games.
Very exciting. But yeah, E3 is later in the year, man. It's not for a little while.
Sure isn't.
But here are the games that you can play this week in a section we called Coming to the Players. As always, we do just straight up read the drop. And heads up, this is
US drop.
US drop, so not all games will appear. on your Australian system just yet.
New PlayStation games from March 12, 2019. The Arkslinger PSVR digital. Blood Waves PS4 digital.
Gross. Is that Lara Croft in that picture?
It is not.
It's a very Lara Crofty looking person.
It could be. The Caligula
Oops.
Caligula Effect Overdose PS4 digital and retail. Dissidia Final Fantasy NT free edition.
Hey, free.
What was that? PS4 digital. The Division 2 PS4 digital and retail.
Read that description for the Division.
The fate of the free world is on the line in Tom Clancy's The Division 2. Lead a team of elite agents into a post-pandemic Washington, D.C. to restore order and prevent the collapse of the city. Gold and Ultimate editions available on March 12th. So if you do get those editions, you can play 3 days early. Ghost of a Tale PS4 digital. One Piece World Seeker PS4 digital. Rico PS4 digital. The Wizards Enhanced Edition PSVR digital. That's it.
Very quiet week. After the bonkers that was February, it's kind of slowing down.
Obviously, the top pick there is Rico. 2 cops, 1 case, and only 24 hours to take them down. Face off against criminal gangs in an exciting procedurally generated action movie FPS. Join forces with a friend online or locally and take down those crooks in true buddy cop style. And The Division 2 is also out that week. Are you not keen for Rico?
Not now. Oh, I am now.
Yeah.
I wasn't initially until you read it out. Now I'm keen as hell.
We're considered influencers.
Yeah.
On a scale. They're going to get 20 more sales because I read that out.
Yeah, I hope so.
That PlayStation conversation happened on a Monday morning at 9 a.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time on YouTube, and 8 a.m. on iTunes, Spotify, and other podcast services. If you'd like to be a part of future conversations, please join us on Facebook, Discord. Comment below. If you're feeling generous, join us on Patreon at patreon.com/PopCulturists. Head over there, check out the tiers. There might be something there that interests you.
If you do support the blah 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 blah, yeah.
We're having a really off day today, aren't we?
If you do support the PopCulturists on Patreon, you can watch us record this show live, if you were so inclined. And normally we give more than 5 minutes notice, but today we didn't, so there's that.
We are shit.
We're also, if you want to show the love of PopCulturists on your body, head to popculturists.com/shop. We can buy shirts like that, as well as some brand new designs. Particularly, we have a new PopC logo mock-up that's very similar to the WWE Attitude Era sketchy logo. Looks fucking mint. Thank you from James Perry from Pixel Beast once again. And of course we are on twitch.tv/thepopculturists. And if you do want to listen to something cool while you're at those podcast services, giving us some 5-star reviews, helping us get up in those rankings, 5 stars reviews like they talk PlayStation. Thank you. It's the most generic fucking review you could give us.
He held my boob while I jacked him off a little bit.
Like, they talk about PlayStation and that one documentary very specifically. But yeah, no, we are there. So while you are on those podcast services, maybe you should go check out The Young and the Wrestlers, the PopCulturists WE podcast.
Perfect podcast if you hate me but like him.
Oh, yes. It's very specific. That's also very specific and very very mean-spirited. But we did also make the new and noteworthy section again this week with Young and the Wrestlers. Did it convert to downloads? No, it didn't. So,
what's the point of that section then?
I don't know.
I was like, well, FTP's never been there, but apparently it means fucking nothing anyway.
But yeah, so if you want to go tell some folks about the wrestling goodness, it would be much appreciated by us. Or full players as well. Like, fucking tell people. Because we are on the road to episode 100. We are on, 94. And as of right now, we still have nothing planned. So, you know what? Keep those expectations tempered. Because until next week, I'm Ryan Betson.
I'm Josh Saunders.
And that was For the Players.
I feel like if our listeners have learned anything after 94 episodes, it's to keep those expectations tempered.
That's right. That's what it should be called. Tempered Expectations, the PopCulturists PlayStation podcast.
PlayStation.
We may have to rebrand. I can do that. I can make a new picture, I suppose. Tempered Expectations. Yeah, no, I'm keen with it. See you next week.
Bye.